Hello everybody, it's our writers here and welcome to episode 2 of our MineColonies series. But before we get started on this episode, there is someone I would like you all to meet. Hi Aubrey. This is my new cat Aubrey. She may be making some appearances with photos in some future videos. She's about 2.5 months old and she is the sweetest thing on the planet. Her original name was Fire Ninja. That is my new cat Aubrey, and she is the absolute sweetest thing in the world. And today I have some unfortunate news. A lot of the progress that we did last episode, at least when it comes to collecting resources, a little bit of it was lost because I did have to essentially reset a decent chunk of my world because for some reason the old world just would not load in and it was super frustrating. So I lost my inventory from when I logged out, but fortunately a lot of it I have put away already. The big thing is we found a huge vein of iron while off camera, so I got that as well as quite a few geos. But that's okay because we have so much we can still do, such as taking a look at how our colony is doing. So this dude right over here hasn't been very productive. He's been searching for trees. He has chopped down exactly one tree, I believe. Yep, one tree. Despite the fact that there are so many trees around, and I've tried resetting him, he just, I guess, doesn't want to look for trees. So I'm going to go ahead and set him up a little field where he can plant his trees, get his trees going, and hopefully he won't spend so much time searching for them. Set this up now. We have our oak, our spruce, our birch, and eventually this is going to be jungled here. And at some point we're going to build another forester's hut and get some dark oak and other modded saplings going. So we're going to go ahead and head over to here. You're going to get the selection tool, and if we right click here, perfect, and then left click right over here, this should define an area for us to work. So this dude is gonna always collect saplings from this forestry area, and I think it turned out pretty neat. It's not perfect, but you know, it works for what we need, and it's basically exactly what I'm looking for. But for now, let's move on to more MineColonies things. So it looks like our first tree has grown and our forester is already going to chop it down. Perfect. But today we're going to be building two extraordinarily important buildings in our colony. The first is going to be the courier's hut. The second is going to be the warehouse. So the warehouse doesn't actually provide any jobs. It is quite literally just a place for storage and nothing else. It's how our colonists are able to store things for other colonists to reach, and they can request things from the storage system to be delivered to them at their place of work, making things more automated in this town. Now, these two are going to want to be extraordinarily central because of how commonly they will be accessed. So I was thinking we're going to divide this colony into two areas. We're going to have our farming area over there, and we're going to have our resource intensive kind of industrial area over here. So our courier's hut and warehouse should probably go somewhere right around here. That would be the best bet for me. So if I place a courier's hut here, it'll be in line with our guard tower, and if we take a look at what would be at level 5, that looks pretty nice. Let's see, is it falling off? It's falling off a little bit here, but nothing that we can't terraform too easily. So let's go ahead and get that placed down, and let's go ahead and assign a worker to it. And just a little bit later, we have our courier's hut built. So if we go in here, we can go ahead and assign our very last worker their job. You're not going to be very good at this job, are you, Hugo? So all your initial settlers are now employed. To attract more settlers, you might have to build or upgrade housing for them. Each level of housing provides one bed for an initial citizen. Okay, yeah, that's something that we're absolutely going to have to work on. But next, we are actually going to be building up our warehouse because otherwise our courier has nowhere to put things. And I think our warehouse would probably look pretty good right up on top of this hill overlooking all this. It's going to be a pretty central building, so we do want it to be as close to the center as possible. So We're not looking at decorations, we're looking at warehouse. So let's go ahead, step out here, find the front of the building. I think if we rotate like that, no. Maybe it's not the front, I can't tell. Oh, I think that's the front right there. That's definitely the front. So if we go ahead, take a step out here. Ooh, this is quite a big building. Let's move it back and try and find a good place for this. I do want it to be facing this way, facing into our city, just like this. But right now it doesn't look like it's in a very good place. And it's really, really hanging off the edge there. And a little bit of repositioning later, I think I found the spot for it. So it's going to kind of open up this way, which is great because it leads directly towards our builder's hut and our courier's hut. We are going to have to do some terraforming around here, but that won't be too bad. So if we take a peek in here, we're going to have lots of racks in here. And that's where all the storage is going to be. And it's a good thing that we have a spruce forest nearby because we're going to need spruce for the roofs. But if we take a look at what this will look like at level 5, you can see this is what it looks like on the outside. Not a huge difference, but it definitely looks nicer, especially here. And this is kind of what it looks like on the inside. It's separated into rooms, and there's an upstairs, which we can't really see that well, but maybe you could get a good peek at it there. That's what that looks like. So we're going to go ahead, check mark this, and get our builder working right on it. So it's just a little bit later, and we have our storage all built up in here. You can see our courier. We've assigned him to this. You do that by going to couriers and manage workers, and you can assign a multiple couriers to a place. And you can see he's already bringing so much stuff over here. There's a ton of stuff that he's able to bring, but if we look around here, it's looking a little bit plain. We did build a tree farm up over here, and I've got 4 of like the regular wood types here. We have spruce, we have oak, we have birch, and we have jungle. Eventually we'll get another lumberjack and we will be able to make more tree farms around this place. This dude is set specifically to this tree farm, so he should only chop trees, although he kind of seems stuck on the roof. I've noticed that happens. You can always just choose to recall the worker, and he should get to work pretty quickly. He's been doing a great job. He has lots of logs in here. He's doing pretty well for himself. Now we do actually still have an open spot in our village because guards actually sleep in their guard towers, so they do not count towards the total number of villagers, or I suppose colonists in a house. So you could see we only have 3 out of 4 citizens in here. If we take a look, let's see, Alan here requires 31 books. That's actually something we might be able to get for this stuff right here. This is the base stats for him. And the villagers that you recruit are actually going to be better than the ones that are naturally born into your colony. I'm actually going to go ahead and turn on real fast, since I can't afford that. I'm going to allow kids to be born real fast. And soon enough, we should get a new kid because there are lots of possible parents in this house. While we're waiting for that kid to be born, though, there is one last thing that I would like to do in this episode. Well, I suppose it's kind of 2. The first thing I would like to do is get our builder's hut upgraded, and to do that, all we have to do is go here, go to build options. You can see exactly what we're going to need. It's nothing too bad. We have most of this already. So let's go ahead and get that upgraded. And it's going to go from this to this. Now I know it's not a big difference, but we did get the level up achievement. And technically now we're able to upgrade our buildings to level 2. And just like that, we do have a new child living in our colony. We got the hometown achievement there. Oh, so if we go ahead and head in here, we're gonna notice we are to click on here again. We will have 4 out of 4 citizens in here. Perfect. And now I'm gonna go ahead and turn off kids will be born again. And unfortunately, it looks like somehow our forester was shot by a skeleton. And well, it was daylight just a few moments ago, but that's so weird. I collected the grave, which was right here. I'm kind of shocked that this happened. So the next day our villagers aren't actually going to work. And that means we're going to actually have to get ourselves another kid, basically. So instead of letting another child be born into our colony, what I did is I went back to that witch's area, the witch castle, and I got us a bunch of books, and I also stole an enchanting table, which I learned you only need an iron pickaxe to get. So we're actually going to go ahead and hire this dude. This dude's going to become a part of our colony, and you are going to need some food. So how about How about you have some apples for now? Some apples would be good. And this dude is going to become our new lumberjack. He's going to have significantly better skills because we hired him instead of letting him be born into our colony. There are ways that we can reconcile that a little bit later. So let's go manage workers. You are pretty terrible for this job considering your stats, but you know what? We're going to hire you anyways. Now, the last thing that we're going to do in this episode is we're actually going to set up a farm. So when our child grows up, we will have a place for the child to work. Now, our farm is, of course, going to go in our farming area, and I think that this right here is going to be a great place. It'll be right next to our lumberjack. It'll be really close to storage, so that way anything that we ever need from the farm will be able to get there. So let's go ahead and take a look at what the wooden farm looks like. Oh, this is super small. Oh, that's going to be so easy to build. At level 5, it's more of like a barn kind of thing. Oh, that's super nice. So I think I'm going to push this back so it's more in line with our tree farm over here and our lumberjack. We're probably going to cover up some of that lava lake, which is a little bit on the dangerous side for our colonists. Let's go ahead and rotate this around so that way that looks like the front, doesn't it? Yeah, that's definitely the front. So let's find a good spot for this and get building. Now, the other thing is we are going to actually need to manually place down where the farm goes. So I was thinking we could have a couple on this side and a couple on this side. So I'm going to move this over just a couple more blocks. So that way it's more even between the town hall and the lumberjack. And I think that was actually too far. So I'll actually manually just measure this out. So that way we place it pretty evenly. And then we'll be able to place farms on either side here. They're going to be pretty small, so I'm not too worried about that. And that way our farmer actually has a place to work. We might be able to even fit some farms out back in the end. Oh yeah, this would definitely be a great place for some farms. Well, fortunately, we were able to get this perfectly even with 10 blocks on either side. So let's go ahead, place this dude down, and let's get our builder working on it. I just realized my microphone wasn't on. So Judson's going to go ahead and start over here, start making food for us. We have our field here. It's going to be planting potatoes because these potatoes will be used both as food in the future and as a medicine when we build a hospital. So that's why we chose this. Judson is actually a real good farmer. If we take a look at his stats, 13 stamina and 8 athletics, which is really good, especially for what we have going on in our colony right now. I'm probably going to expand this out just a little bit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. That will round out the field nicely. And just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. I might expand this a bit just so that way we have more of an elevation ledge here. Don't have to worry as much about trampling with crops, but potatoes are going to be super duper useful. And that is actually where I'm going to call today's episode. In between episodes, I'm probably going to spend some time upgrading a few of our buildings because we did get our builder set upgraded to level 2. That way our buildings will be more productive in the end. We'll just be able to get some more done. So here real fast, I want to start doing something. I'm going to go ahead and include a photo of Aubrey in every one of my videos at the very end of it. And if you'd like to have your pet featured in one of my videos, go ahead. You can send it to me on Twitter at @writerish, or you could email it to me. Link is going to be in the About section of my YouTube channel. If you go there, there'll be a section in which you can get my email and contact me that way. But here's my photo of Aubrey for today. This is her cactus scratching post. She loves it so much, and I just think this photo is really funny of her. And in the next video, if I do get a pet photo from one of you all, I will include it. Just make sure to send me your name, the name of your pet, and I will do my best to include it in the video. But I hope you all enjoyed today's video. If you did, please be sure to hit that like button. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing. But I hope to see you all in the next video, and I hope you all have a truly magnificent day. And bye.